Here's my... He sends a come to your phone. Come to the Source King.
Now is not the time for that.
I'll yield to none.
but the weight of his own pain...
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded.
Dallas groaned.
I have failed.
Here we stand, once more on the cusp of divinity. But this cup, so long thirsted for, I willfully let it pass from me. All my life has been a lead-up to this. I will not say it was in vain, but if I were to chance upon my throne right now, I would sit down beside it. I'd think of SATA. I'd think of my children. And of course, I'd think of you. Of the adventures we had. Of our unlikely, yet... Yes, I'd sit there, thoroughly contented, and wait for you, I know.
A mischievous smile.
But I do have to add, likewise.
This is it. I can hardly believe it.
She casts her gaze around the crypt in...
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now, Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. And I know you'll do it with style.
Her eyes flash and sparkle with tears. She
Back at you, Chief. Always. Now go on, shoo. You've got business to attend to.
So here we are. Nobody I'd rather see this whole thing through with. I trust you. I trust your judgment. I know you will. I know you, remember? You're the best damn friend I've ever had. Well then, let's do this.
After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate and the future of the world. What shall you do with Divinity?
So it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm he was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves, and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The Great Allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the Godwoken claimed divinity. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine. I cling now to the dream that one day the veil will be sealed, that one day I can be freed, that one day a new Godwoken will rise.
Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. A god, no less.
He smiles at you fondly.
You've done us proud. You saved the world, didn't you? No. We were all of us instrumental, but I'm glad it was you. Home, if you don't mind. After all, I've dragons to raise. I need to teach them to be good boys and girls. There may be an accident or two along the way. I do so long to see my palace again. The Forbidden City. The set to sit all day in perfumed shade and watch the what. Above all, I long to be with SATA. Long to... Oh, but before you go, remember how when we first met, I took you by the jaw to inspect your teeth? Not something one forgets in a... Now, if you recall, as per your own testimony, you can groom, But alas, you've no culinary skills whatsoever, and you lack a sense of fashion. Still, I'm nothing if not a tolerant man who believes in individual growth. I'm sure the journey taught you much. As such, I'd like to offer you what I denied you before, the opportunity to become... What say you? Well, only the best for the Red Prince. Surely you must realize that by now. You'll have to wear a...
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her...
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit, and I fool your holiness. I expect it's...
She turns to you, arms crossed.
Look at you. Magnificent. Don't I know it? Let's hope it pays off.
She fingers the mask covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it. But instead,
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. I sacrificed much. And I'd give it soon. I'd like to have a little chat about that. I believe that can relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a lover or 300. I'd say we... And when the time comes, your holiness.
You escaped an abominable prison and confronted the king of... Not that your story is finished, of course. Your divinity shines upon all who walk Rivellon. And they will, as a matter of source, makes for an excellent ally in matters of a demo. Whether you are clever enough of a divine to keep Damien's disciples confined to Nemesis, I can't say. Now that I am clear of mind and free of intruders, once I've come to a conclusion, until we meet again.
Beast Spirit smiles as you approach. And
Here the wild beast just sails on the ocean. He's docked in the bay and coming your way. The cupboard can't hide you, nor can your berth. His daggers don't keep...
he pauses, then continues to...
I've never been fond of what the Divine stands for, but I must say, it's rather exciting to say I've been up close and personal with one. Reform my ways. How adorable.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon. Somewhere in the recesses of your mind...
Something to remember me by, darling. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahalia and I. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
Well, if it isn't the new Divine gracing me with his presence. That is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language, unreadable to most. But myself, naturally. I intend to seek them out. This Gustafjan seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've...
Tarquin's smirk.
I didn't come all this way to show deference. Some friendly advice. All who rise are capable of falling.
Well, well, Quirkers. Look who finally graced us with their boss. No, you should be thanking me. I just saved the world. You're welcome. Honestly, Quirkers, some creatures have no sense of perspective.
A huge grin slowly...
Of course, had you not stopped this god king...
The cat moves forward, twisting around your legs, and...
Quirkers! Please, have a little decorum. This battle is won, my friend, but we still have a war to fight. They summoned the Great Acorn once. They will be able to summon it again. We have to... That is the future Quirkers and I have ahead of us. We no longer need a shield, but we are very happy to have a friend. The honor is all mine. I pray we will not need. I never thought I would be proud to have befriended a giant. Ow! Crackers! There is no... I do not know what comes next. Come, Crackers. We must... Ooh.
The cat curls up and snuggles into his squirrel friend.
Amazing I'm still here. That we're still here. Well, that relationship always was. You're so much like him. My instincts tell me to kneel to the new divine. I've done so before, after all. But I can't drive myself to do it again.
Gareth beams. For the first time, he is his own...
A friend, yes.
For a moment, his mind wanders to memories of friends and enemies, of malady and...
Friends. I find a way to fit. I wasn't just content to lurk in Lucian's shadow. I was his shadow. Now I stand in the sun as my own, and so I find out. My goal is to have a goal, if that makes sense.
A slight grin crosses the spirit's face.
I see great potential in our new divinity.
Ifan gives you an appraising glance. Curiosity mingled, reflected in the mirror of his eyes. You see yourself, majestic, powerful, emanating an aura of...
So, you're it. Our new... I truly hope you'll do better than Lucian. Be better. You'll need to do even better than that. But if anyone can, I believe it's you. If I can give one last... Remember that you serve the people, not the other way around. I need to fix what my actions destroyed. I'm going to return to the forests where I grew up, where the death fog detonated. I'm going... Maybe we'll see each other again.
He pauses, as if about to say something else, then shakes his head. With one last nod...
You! Look who it is! Our brand new Lord and Savior.
She curtsies low and looks up at you with a grin.
So, what's your first order of business? End world hunger? Instigate world peace? Send all spiders back to hell where they belong? Well, yeah. I'm not the next god. Someone made that abundantly clear.
She winks and pokes you in the ribs.
So? Come on, don't keep me in suspense. What are you going to do with your almighty power? Big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to. Ding, ding, ding! My loot calluses are all but worn off. I'm a disgrace. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right?
Her face softens.
You know, I won't forget you either. Not ever. It's not every day you fall in love with a future god, after all. You'll ace it. I'm sure of that.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
Almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords, to those whose blood I am at the ready. Consider me to be a gift from Malady. My wood was splintered,
but I feel better than new.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. War raged on. Arx remained the center of power as the races united behind the Divine. But the Voidwoken attacks continued as they did elsewhere. Arx would see many more long years of war. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new Divine Alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the God King. The Empire used the war to expand its territory. Justinia returned to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven Kingdom fought for the Divine, and her loyalty was unquestionable. Many fine and courageous dwarves did their people great honor, in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the Void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on. The farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Voidwoken blight. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Voidwoken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with ongoing war, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new Divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, but she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the Wizard served the new Divine with honor, wisdom, and an at times unnerving feline elegance. The undead priestess Gratiana remained in her sanctuary, happy to wait for the war to pass. She was troubled only by the silence of her goddess. Changed by his experience with the Godwoken, Mordu's proved a useful tool in the fight against the Void. The Alliance quickly learned to keep him away from ordinary soldiers for the sake of morale. Jehan the Demon Hunter never stopped hunting for demons. Sahala sought to strengthen the Elven Alliance with the new Divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new Divine trusted her. Tova, her mother, was Sahala's most trusted warrior. With a small band of elves, Ifan ben Medst replanted the lost forests. After the first fresh shoots broke the earth, Ifan returned to the war, leading the elves in service of the Divine. Some say Afrit, his soul wolf, walks the forest still. On his return to the Empire, the Red Prince was hailed a hero. He married Sada, and they had many more dragons. Soon, the prince became the emperor. Faced with dragons, the Void did not gain the upper hand in the Empire. Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as the Divine's premier musician. Dark moods would still overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You, Fane, the eternal Divine. What did you do with your power? What kind of Divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming Divine? Did you wish you'd surrendered the power that runs through your veins and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.